We want to thank the press for coming under these occasions. Seems like the only time we assemble the press when a black man is shot down in Savannah, Georgia. In the state of Georgia, Savannah is the worst state of police shooting of a black man. And that is sad. Something definitely is wrong with this police department. We have to ask the federal government to do a complete investigation on Savannah Police Department. We also would like to see the police officer that shot this young man to be fired or for him to resign. This man had a legal concealed weapons permit and still was shot down. It should never be a death sentence of a black man for carrying a weapon. Mr. Mincy had a weapon, did not point it at the officer, and was shot down. This police department went and shot a dog like they've been killing black men here in Savannah. And we want it to stop. I don't know if it's the training or the fear of a black man, but it seems like they shoot and ask questions later. And we cannot and will not tolerate this. We're calling on the mayor, Ms. Johnson, to do something about all the black males that have been shot in Savannah. We're averaging once a month in the year 2022. It is very, very, very sad. Family after family are crying because of their sons or their daughters shot down by this police department, and it must stop. It must stop.
Amen.
There will be a series of protests in front of this police department to demand that this police chief step down, because we don't think that he's doing a good job in training his officers. The history of a black man is to not kill policemen. We don't have that history of killing policemen. But policemen are always killing a black man all over this country. And enough is enough. I'm going to turn this part over to Savannah Racial Justice Network President, Reverend Maynard.
Good morning again. Thank you, press, for coming out. Thank you, Elder. Thank you, colleagues, for coming out. You heard what Elder said about Mr. Lee. Is it a death sentence for a black man to own a gun? Is it? Is it okay for you to shoot us every time or any time you feel like it? Do we have a target on our backs? Is this the case? In our own community, we can't go to the store, a corner store, and buy soda because we're in fear of our lives. We can't walk to the corner because we're in fear of our lives. But it's okay. It's okay. They took this same officer. This same officer has been harassing this community, and it's come up before. It's came up before. No one has done anything. They have harassed these citizens, and these are citizens, tax-paying citizens. They vote. This young lady right here has been a victim of that same officer. This young lady right here. He put mace in her face. Why wasn't he terminated? Why was there an investigation? Today we demand answers. We want transparency. We want accountability. And we're not going to stop. And on this watch is my watch. And we're not going to stop. We're going to march till we can't march no more, till the soles of my shoes come off.
Amen.
Huh? We're going to yell to the top of my lungs, our lungs.
Yes.
If we have to lay down in the middle of Bay Street by City Hall, we're going to do what we need to do. Because when it's enough, enough.
Amen.
Good morning. My name is Felicia Walker. I'm a lifelong resident of Carver Village, born and raised my children, and I'm raising my grandchildren. It's unfortunate that we've lost one of my, which I call neighborhood sons. I have many. I have many neighborhood sons. And this is tragic. We should not be here. If the president of our community would have done what needed to be done, we wouldn't be here. Because that officer should have no longer, when reports were made, complaints were made, that he was harassing the young men of this neighborhood. He was aware of it, but nothing was done. So I'm calling out to the DA, Shalina Cook,
Amen.
Chief Mentor, Van Johnson.
Yes.
Enough is enough, because I have sons, and I have grandsons, and I have cousins, nephews, uncles. It could have very well been myself, because I'm a licensed carrier. Enough is enough. And justice must be served.
Yes. Amen.
Must be served. Thank you.
Chairman Glover.
Just like to say to Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, where there's no justice, there'll be no peace here. We're here to stay. I would like to say that we were asking the DJJ to Department of Justice actually to step in and do the investigation. If they need to clean house, that's what needs to be done here in Georgia. And we're also asking the folks of Savannah, Georgia, we ask you all to come together. When it comes down to election time, vote them out of office. That's where your voice will be heard. Those that are running for office, vote them out. You have the authority to do that. You have the right to do that. And those that have been granted to carry firearm and has permits, seems to me that that's give them, the officers, the right to shoot you, actually. But when you shoot an officer, it's a different story. Right. So now they're taking advantage of that. I just want you to know that the officers are taking advantage of that.
Yes.
Although you have a carry permit,
Right.
they're taking advantage of that to actually kill you.
Right.
And that's what some of these departments are doing. So therefore, they need to be held accountable.
Yes.
Chief need to be held accountable, and especially the mayor. The mayor will be held accountable. Why? Because he plays a major part in the law enforcement division.
That's right.
So if there's no justice, there will be no peace.
That's right.
And it is sad when an officer can just say that I was fair for my life and he's set free, but not in this case. They use that all the time. I fear for my life, and they are set free. But we want to send a message to the DA. Enough is enough of these officers getting off scot-free for killing a black man.
That's right.
And we want this officer to be fired, and we want better training for Savannah Police Department.
Yes.
To where they see a black man with a gun. A black man, like I said earlier, don't have a history of killing police officers. And
I'd like to add one more thing. I want to ask you guys, media, I want to ask everybody out there that's watching the news. When it comes to us, we die in the streets. But when it comes to people who don't look like us, they go to jail. There was a shootout in Garden City. Oh, active shooting. Active shooting. That young man is in the jail. But this young man didn't point a gun at anybody. But he's dead. He didn't fire a shot, but he's dead. When will we have justice? Just us, y'all. Y'all remember that. It's just us. Just us.
Any questions for
Yes.
I want to ask also, the name of the officer hasn't been released yet through the GBI SPD. We've requested that. Can you give us the name?
Yes, Officer Ferguson.
First name?
I don't know the first name, but the last name is Ferguson.
And you believe him to be the same who was involved in this?
He was the one that was harassing the community.
Yeah.
All of these people out here.
Ms. Walker, can you share your experience with this officer?
Yes. One of my neighborhood sons had an altercation with him up at the store, and my daughter was there. So my daughter called me, and when I got there, they had him barricaded up against the store, Ferguson and his partner, which I believe his name to be Frazier. As I approached him, I asked, what was going on. He was so... Anyway, he pointed his mace in my face, as if to say, he just... It's just, oh God, it's just,
It's okay.
it's just, I don't know.
It's okay.
He needs to be removed. He needs to be in jail. Really, he needs to be in jail.
Remove his immunity so
Yes,
he
needs to be in jail.
so he can stand trial.
But I guarantee
Remove
you
his immunity.
right now, he's in hiding. I'm sure they have him in hiding. Him and his family, somewhere off in hiding, for his protection, his safety. But my neighborhood son, who I call Spitter, is gone.
Can you talk a little more about who he was?
Spitter. Like I said, he was my neighborhood son. To know him was to love him. He was misunderstood by a lot, but he's a very smart young man. He would often sit on my porch with my son and some more of my other sons. They would sit and have their conversation, their talk, rap. But to know him was to love him. And he did not deserve what happened Friday.
Yes.
I know you're in close contact with the family
Yes.
as well. Will there be the same steps taken as with the family of Maurice Mincy in
Yes.
terms of seeking legal action?
Yes.
in this particular case?
Yes. But we're not gonna disclose that at this time because of the privacy for the family. We're gonna give them time to grieve, and we ask the community to please
after the service?
give them time to grieve. After the services, they'll come out and do a press conference and they'll talk to the media. Please, but before then, please respect their privacy. Please, thank you. Any more questions? If
Do you have any details about what happened that wasn't included by the GBI?
well, we don't have all the evidence right now, but we can say this.
Yeah, video.
We have videos out, but we can say this: if the GBI lied before, they'll lie again. When they lied and said that Maurice Mincy pointed a gun, and our DA came up and said he did not point a gun, that threw their credibility out the window with me. So I don't trust them. And we want the Attorney General to come in and investigate them as well. Any further questions?
Do you know what number investigation into an officer-involved shooting this is this year?
Right here. Do you see this? This is all involved police shootings. All involved police shootings right here.
6 this year.
This year. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Over 20 somebody shootings involving an officer. Come on, guys. We have to, now listen to me and hear me right. We're not anti-police. So don't start that. Please don't get that twisted.
No.
We're not. But if we pay you to do a job to serve and protect, do not be an executor to us because we look different from you. Give us the same rights as you give Haberdasher Woods, as you give Arsley Park. Treat us the same as you treat all citizens. That's all I have to say. In the press conference. Thank you. No more questions. No more questions. Good.